Well, good morning, you guys. We've just arrived at Gallagher Estates in Midrand for the launch of the Geely brand. So Geely is back in the country, and it's going to be interesting because they're not just returning as a brand, they're returning with some other brands that they own as well. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting day. We're going to drive the vehicles. We're going to go through all of it. I think there are two models available. As you can see, they've set up nicely with Geely branding. I don't know where the cars are, but yeah, it's going to be a good one. Stick around and I'll tell you all about the cars, what you can expect, pricing, engines. I think there is one with an engine, and I think there's an EV as well. So these are the cars. Yeah, so if you take a good look at this and that, it looks very, very familiar. Let's go have a look at that one. I'm sure you've seen something that looks like this already. And I can hint, nudge you. This reminds me of Leap Moto, which I did. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It is on my thing. Very much similar. Similar in terms of design. So apparently there are two versions of this available, two models available of this car, this Geely vehicle. There's a full-on EV and there is also a plug-in hybrid, which I'm grateful for. I don't know if the whole full-on EV thing would have worked. South Africans are just not that way inclined. We're not there yet. So I'm just really glad that there is a plug-in hybrid. I can't tell the difference between the two different models. I will say that. They just look so similar to each other. I can't tell which one the plug-in hybrid is and which is the full-on EV. It's just, I don't know, let me know if you can tell there's a difference to you. Anyway, we're gonna go for a drive and see how it is on the road. Yeah, first things first, the interior does feel very, very plush. The leather seats feel very nice. They look nice as well. I actually like this spec and this color. And you may recognize these headrests. A lot of Chinese cars are now coming with these headrests that have speakers in them. Omoda C9 has these. Cherry Tiggo 9 also has these, and this also does, funny enough. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, it does feel really, really plush. I do appreciate the fact that they have added at least 4 buttons here for aircon, unlike other brands that just stick everything into a screen. What else is there? At least we do have window controls and mirror controls. Other Chinese brands, or some, don't come with mirror controls and you have to adjust your mirrors through there, which is crazy business. I do love the ambient lighting as well in here. I recently attended the Leap Motor launch, and the interesting thing about that car was that it didn't have a key. So the key was literally a card, credit card sort of thing. That didn't have a key. So this is the key here. It's like a little pebble shaped thing. I don't particularly like these kinds of keys personally because you just can't store this anywhere. It's such a smooth little thing that it just slips out of your pocket. It freaking gets lost under the couch. And yeah, I don't even think there is a keyring option or thing here. So this is it, and we're about to set off. I'm driving with Jay Franco. Show yourself, brother. So we're driving, is this a hybrid or the...
This is fully electric.
Full electric.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong. We're in the plug-in hybrid. So this is the plug-in hybrid, not the electric. I'm 100% sure.
What did you say about the wheels earlier?
It says hybrid there. Can you see that? Okay, so the one thing to note here is the range in this plug-in hybrid, right? So we have got 895 kilometers of range, which is a stinking amount of range. The battery is not even fully charged. We're sitting at what, half of the battery capacity charged, and we've got almost 900 kilometers of range, which makes me then wonder where or what kind of range we would have here if the battery was fully charged. And that is really the beauty of these plug-in hybrids that are coming in from China, because a lot of them are coming in. Chery has one, JQ has one, GWM has one. They all exceed 1,000 kilometers of range, and that is real world range. That's not just like paper range. So I'm pretty sure that this would also be sitting at over 1,000 kilometers of range easily. And yeah, it really just mitigates the whole high fuel consumption with Chinese cars issue with the new crop of cars. the first thing you discover when you start driving this Geely is the refinement. The car is super refined on the road. It is super smooth. This is obviously the hybrid, like I said, and the engine hasn't come on, at least not that I've perceived it at all. And it's just so quiet and smooth, and it offers such a refined ride. And I mean, for the kind of price that you're paying here, the kind of money that you're paying, I think, yeah, you're gonna have to drive it yourself. I am telling you that it does feel pretty good. It does feel pretty plush and refined. They have added an audio system which they've been ranting and raving about. It's called Flyme, so Flyme, Flyme sound, and we were testing it now, and it's okay. It's not crazy. It's not like a Meridian or Bowers and Wilkins or anything like that. I'd probably say that this is at like a Bose level or a Sony level. So it's not on the low end, but it also isn't like a premium audio system. But at least they've made an effort to do that and include that in the car. Now, obviously, because we've got this big television screen here, as you guys know, they put everything into a screen. I have not been able to figure out different drive modes or different this and different that. I'm going to get Javon to do that now. So you get 3 menus. You get pure, which is electric, right?
Yeah, I think that's fully electric. Then you've got hybrid. Then you've got power, which uses electric and the engine to, like a sports mode.
Yeah, power is a sports mode. So yeah, you can mess around with that. And even though we are not going to get to sample out the range and see if it actually, I mean, if that 895, which it still is 895, and we've been driving for a while, it's actually been using electricity. Look, we're on 6Ks now. We were on 35 kilometers on electric. We're now on 6 kilometers. So we've been riding around in EV mode, even though the car is in hybrid mode. It's only used its electric charge. But the points I'm making is that even though that's the case, I'm still very much confident that you will get that range, that 895 in this kind of vehicle, because I've driven enough Chinese cars and I've experimented enough to know that it is actually real world range. And the nice thing here is that with the kind of roads that we have in South Africa, where it's just bumpy, uneven, not great, the comfort levels here are so perfectly suited to our roads and the kind of system that we live in here in South Africa. So I'm really glad they did that. I am sitting in the back of this Geely, and surprisingly, very, very surprisingly, this thing is insanely spacious. The front seat is kind of far back because it's got the whole comfort feature. So when, as a driver, you climb out of the car, it moves the seat back. So this is not the normal driving position. And if that seat were to go more forward, I mean, it's still fine as it is, but if it were to go forward, I'd have a ton of legroom. And the backrest is also reclined somewhat, so it just feels like I'm chilling on my grandmother's couch, if I'm being honest with you. The leather does feel soft and plush. So this is a premium product, and I'm going to reveal to you at the end why it's such a premium product. It's not just because it's another Chinese brand that is premium. There is a very big and important reason why this car feels as premium and as plush as it does. Alrighty, so we are behind the wheel of the electric version of this vehicle, which is it's quite interesting to say the least. The one thing I can say is that it is equally as refined as the hybrid version. It feels very smooth, it feels very refined. The range here, I'm not sure about the total range, but I'll put it on the screen because right now it's saying 271 Ks, but the tank or the battery is not completely full. But I mean, it goes quite well. We're in sports now, and sports does pull. Let's see if I get it. I nearly had a head-on collision with someone, and I'm in my own lane. I cannot believe this. Guys, I don't understand South African drivers or driving. I'm in my lane. It's a two-way road, and I'm driving at the speed limit, which is like 60. And suddenly this guy just turns in front of me right as I I get to him. He just literally just turns his car as if I'm not there, and I had to brake for him. But anyway, it's mind-bending how something like that could happen. That could have been a proper head-on collision. Like in a brand spanking new car, he would have gotten hurt because he's in a Suzuki Swift, and possibly here too. But I mean, the C NCAP rating, which is the Chinese NCAP rating in this, I think is a 5-star. They have crash tested and done all of that. And they've done a C NCAP, and I'm not sure what the Euro NCAP rating of this is, but I assume that I would have been okay. And let me tell you why I think I would have been okay. Geely, for those of you who don't know, actually owns Volvo. Yes, they do. They own Volvo. They own Lotus. They own Smart. They own... There's one other brand that I'm missing, but Geely owns a few brands, and the safety part of it, I'm sure we would have been good because the Volvo genetics are in here too. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier on when I was still driving the hybrid, that it feels plush. It does not feel like a mid-range vehicle. It does feel like a premium vehicle. It feels very plush on the road. And I am gonna stick my neck out and say it is because of its shared, not necessarily lineage, but it's shared family home with the Volvo brand, because Geely owns Volvo. The interesting thing about the Geely brand is that they do their own in-house things. So like the battery, for instance, it's in-house. They produce that, they build that themselves. The system that they're running on this infotainment screen, this big TV screen here, is all theirs. So it's not outsourced to any other brand or company. They're doing their own stuff. And where it gets interesting is that you see the system and you recognize it from other vehicles, other Chinese vehicles. Then it gets you thinking that, is it possible that Geely is the supplier to all these other Chinese brands in terms of the operating system and that screen there? So I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Right, so you guys are not going to believe this. I have finally figured out or heard how to spot the difference between the two models. It is the craziest thing ever, because if you look at all four of these cars, they all look the same. It all looks like one vehicle, right? However, apparently, the difference is the mags. So these mags and those mags are different from those mags. So that is the plug-in hybrid, those mags over there. Also the light bar in the front, that is the plug-in hybrid. That's how you tell the plug-in hybrid from the electric vehicle. Has a light bar. That doesn't have a light bar, so that's EV. And it's such subtle differences between the cars. I mean, the things look the same. It looks like the same model, but it's not the same model, which is absolutely crazy. The door handles are the other telltale sign. So if you look at these door handles, those are pop-out door handles. So that's the full-on EV. And if you look at those door handles, those are normal door handles. And this is obviously the plug-in hybrid. So it is just so crazy that it's two different models. When I say models, I mean like one is like a Leap Tiger and another one is a Mountain Cat or whatever. Put whatever name you want there. I don't know what the names are. But the two models look like the same car. Crazy business, right? By the way, before I end this off, Zeekr, it's Z-E-E-K-R, it's a Chinese brand, is possibly coming into South Africa through Geely, because Geely owns Zeekr. So I am really looking forward to that. I've seen the Zeekr brand and I've seen Zeekr cars when I was in China, and they look stunning. This is probably the hottest Chinese car, I don't know what brand it is, that I've seen. So cars with green number plates are basically electric cars. So this is definitely an EV. And oh, it's called the Zeekr. So introducing the Zeekr 001. That's what this is. So really, really looking forward to that. And I really hope and pray that they do bring the Zeekr. I don't know where I am now, guys. Driving around aimlessly in some area. But I really do hope they bring the Zeekr brand into South Africa. I think they will, from what I understand and what I've heard. That will be a game changer, because that's just a stunning looking vehicle. It's a full-on EV, but it just looks so good. And every time I've gone to China and I see a Zeekr car, it really gets me excited. So anyway, if you've found value in the video and you got something out of it, please consider giving it a big fat like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate your subscription. So hit that button, and I'll see you on the next one.